Hello there, my name is Luciano Oliveira. I'm a Brazilian attorney, also licensed in California and Texas. And today I'm going to answer this question. How do I locate bank accounts or hidden assets that the deceased had in Brazil? And this is an interesting question because usually it's going to be the attorney's job to find such assets, meaning that if you are hiring an attorney to handle your probate in Brazil, the attorney is going to be as interested as you are in finding more assets, because the attorney usually is going to be paid on a fixed fee to start the work, but there is going to be also a success fee, also known as contingency fee, over the assets that the attorney is going to recover on your behalf. An attorney can search, for instance, for wills, he can search for bank accounts, he can search for real estate, and he can search for many other assets that are potentially hidden at the beginning of a case. Another strategy that an attorney can use in Brazil is to request the Brazilian government to release the deceased's tax returns, which in theory would map out the assets owned by the deceased. Interesting to note that in Brazil there is a high secrecy for bank accounts, and they are usually more difficult to find out than they are in the United States. In the United States, there are private investigators that somehow are able to retrieve bank account numbers, bank names, and even how much balance there is in a bank account. In Brazil, it is extremely rare for you to find this information available, and therefore more important than ever to have an attorney finding out on your behalf. Now, if you are in the process of deciding if it is worth or not to pursue a probate in Brazil, you may want to do a search by yourself in order to know if there are enough assets available for a lawsuit to be started and for monies to be spent on attorney and court fees. Some of the searches you could do by yourself potentially are gonna be through wills, meaning that you can search for wills across Brazil. And second, you can also search for real estate. Unfortunately, not at the national level, but more on a state-by-state basis. However, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to search for bank accounts, and you certainly are not going to be able to access tax returns for the deceased on your own. Now, to search for real estate and to search for wills, we're going to make available in the description below a few links that you can use as a start point. Unfortunately, those systems, they are in Portuguese, but here is a tip for you on how to access them. You can use Chrome, and when using Chrome, you right-click and you choose Translate to English. Naturally, the translation is going to be machine-based, so it's far from perfect, but in our experience, it may be enough for you to navigate and through trial and error, eventually get to some results. If you are interested in an initial search for assets, you may contact our firm and we may provide you with an estimate for this work to be done. I hope these tips were helpful. Follow us for more tips, and I see you in our next video.